Hello, it's Lori Rolleveld, and I'm being quiet because my house is full of my family who are here today to help me with my local launch of my book. And it's snowing. It has been the most snow-free winter we've had in a long time, but of course today we're having a snowstorm. And I'm going to be watching the weather throughout the day. We're only a mile from the church, and the roads here are pretty clear. But I know in other places it's going to prevent people from getting to the launch. And, that's disappointing because you make plans and you hope people come, but it's not a deterrent for me from spreading the message of this book. And that's kind of been the story of this book. I'm not a big one for, people will say to you all the time when you're going through trial after trial, oh, God must be preparing you for some great thing. Okay, sometimes, but a lot of times we just go through trial after trial because we live in a fallen world and we have an enemy who first he tries to keep everybody from knowing the truth of Christ. And then when we become Christians and we know the truth of Christ, then his tactic is to rob us of joy and effectiveness and try to steal the freedom and the life that we have in Christ. So I don't necessarily think that a bunch of trials mean like, oh, there must be something great, because I know people who have just lived life of trial. That something great is going to happen when we are all home and have an eternal adventure with our God. This book has been like a cautionary tale, and titling your book, The Art of Hard Conversations. It's been hard. It's been a hard project from the beginning. I took it on because I believe in it. I believe that people suffer when we don't have these hard conversations. I believe that there are breakthroughs and amazing transformations when we do. I also believe sometimes we have amazing hard conversations and the other person walks away and doesn't change, or things get worse with that person. But then we're free. There's nothing worse, I think, than seeing something happen and thinking, could I have said something? If I felt like I should say something, if I had said that thing, would it have made a difference? We need to be free from that, because our God is a God who speaks. Our God is a God who communicates. Like we live in days where people say we need talk, we need action and not talk. And that's absolutely true. But there are times when talk is action. And that is when it is speech and talk that comes out of obedience to God's commands, sharing our faith, confronting sin, speaking truth, comforting the sick, being with friends who are dying, and speaking encouraging words and strengthening words, telling people how much they mean to us and how loved they are. So, like, there are times when speech and action are one. With our God, there's no dichotomy between his speech and his action. They are one. Jesus is the living word. And the more we become like Christ, the more our words and our actions align, so that our words become a type of action that's needed in a world. Because when you think about it, withholding truth, that doesn't sound like Christ. Avoiding truth, that doesn't sound like Christ. Telling half the truth also doesn't sound like Christ, right? So I have faced trial after trial with this book. I wrote most of it from hospital rooms and rehab centers and my parents' couch, because both of them went through just horrible medical traumas and mental health traumas and losing their dog. So I wrote it like that, just through hard times. The amazing woman who worked with me to edit the book, she also edited from hospital rooms and emergency rooms and intensive care units with her daughter. The publicist who's working with me on the book, the first week she was assigned the book, she had 3 family members all hospitalized. And so, of course, it makes sense to me that there's struggle on the day of where people are coming to a workshop to talk about hard conversations. But I have learned, and please, if you're a writer or communicator, if what you do for the Lord is intercede in prayer from your living room, persist. Don't give up. I like honestly, it's not about me because I did the math. I love Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It's my Dunkin' Donuts coffee cup. I love Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I could make more money if I got a part-time job with Dunkin' Donuts and I'd get coffee than I do writing books right now. So it's not about me. My life would be, honestly, sometimes I think, okay, if I get rid of the writing, just did the day job, was active in my church, did things like there's no pressure from God not to do that. That's like he loves me. He will always love me. And my life would be easier. But I have eternity for ease and rest. I believe in this message. I believe that if we talk more with one another, that we will see more of God's work. And I have found that, and I'm inviting readers into that if we break the silence that the world and Satan and our own tendencies lock us into, if we break that, if we break free from that, we get to partner with God and his work and see amazing things. So that's my invitation with the Art of Hard Conversations. Whoever shows up today for this event, if I don't end up canceling, I will be watching the weather, but people who show up today, I will just give them my best. And then I'm gonna like continue to do hard conversation workshops and spread the word on this book and pray for readers and pray that other people, as they read the book, spread the word because of the importance of the message and because I believe that God persists with us and there's no reason for me not to persist. I spoke with a dear, dear woman yesterday who's a friend of our family, and she's a prayer warrior. She intercedes. When Star prays, it's powerful. And she has lived a life of trial. Yesterday, she referred to herself as a nothing. I'm just like, I don't understand. Sometimes I'm just this little nothing Christian. She's really, because of a lot of reasons, spends a lot of time in her house. She says, nobody knows me, but I get to know like people who write books and preach and lobby in Congress, and I'm connected with them for some reason. And I laughed and said, because you're not nothing. We're gonna be in glory one day, and people are gonna go, who is that woman with all those halos, all those crowns, all those, yeah, there won't be halos, but crowns and rewards. And Jesus is gonna say, that Star, and a lot of you are here because of her. And a lot of you had effective ministries because of her prayers. And she's not nothing. She's a prayer warrior. So persist. She persists. I'm going to persist with this message. And whatever you're doing, you probably have times when you feel like, why does it matter? Like it's frustrating and there's pushback and I don't always feel effective. We always need to be checking our effectiveness with the Lord and with trusted, mature believers to see if there's more that we can do. But, we are just facing times of intense spiritual opposition. And there are times just to dig in and say, you know what, no matter what the opposition, I will not yield this ground. I will continue. So if you're in that place this morning, I want to encourage you and pray for you and be heartened that there is more at work all the time than we see. So continue in the assignment that you have from the Lord. Persist. Pray for those who are around you that they will persist and not give up. All right. Hopefully I will see you at the launch. If not, that's okay. I'll find you.